burning down pretty good now. Just wasted all this time and effort. Let's give this another shot. Hello, welcome back to another episode from Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. I'm Bill, glad you could join me. Today we're going to take a look at the keyhole bow drill method. Stay tuned. So what we're going to do is we're going to carve out a receptacle here to receive the char. I'm actually going to, as a labor saver, get out the big knife and baton this. I'll give you guys a close-up of this here as soon as I'm done. So you want a decent receptacle to receive the char. Probably be getting pretty close here. Okay, so we have our burn in, and this is pretty deep here. It's probably, whoops, almost a ½ inch deep probably. Just notched out a collection receptacle down in there. So I'm going to put you back on the tripod and go ahead and get a coal there, and I'm going to show you how we're going to get the coal off here. We're going to use the same method as we used for the 2-hole. Stay tuned. It got too deep and started binding on the spindle. So I just cut another divot up here, so I'm going to burn it in, and I'm just going to burn it shallow before I carve out the collection receptacle here, and we'll see how that works. Once it gets too deep, it starts binding on the spindle, and it just doesn't spin as freely, and you don't get the there we go. You don't get the friction and the temperature. Give it another shot here. Turn this screen around so I can see what I'm doing here. All right. we can make it work this time. I'm feeling pretty confident now. Thinking that just might be enough here. I'm gonna try opening this up just a little bit wider. Alright, I'm going to give you guys a close-up there, and then we'll give it another shot. Stay tuned. Okay, here's the new one, and there is it's a very shallow burn-in. It's pretty deep, about 3/8 of an inch or so, almost a half. Whoop. The collection receptacle, and here's the failed one. It just got too deep and the spindle started binding up. Just couldn't get enough speed on it to produce enough friction and heat to ignite the char. So starting out with a fresh hole up here, we'll see how this does. So let's give it a shot. Stay tuned. All right. Feeling a little better about this one. Let's see if it works. I don't know if that's going to do it. I blew right into the receptacle. Yeah, spindle migrated right into the receptacle. I'm tempted to give it one more try. I don't like to give up too easy. Yeah, what the heck, we'll give it one more shot. Alright, go ahead and burn that in and see what we can do. I got a little bit of time, so up here having fun. Let's see if we can make this happen. You guys are learning from my failures here. All right. I'm going to make the notch where it comes into the hole narrower, so I don't get the migration issue. It's my first attempt at a one-hole bow drill. I don't think anybody else has done one of these, so I'm excited about doing it. If I can make it work, so you guys are, I'm not editing out my learning curve here today, so you guys are learning right along with me. Well, if the spindle doesn't migrate into the receptacle, it should be okay. Hopefully. I like coming out and practicing the skills and then coming up with new ideas. They don't always work. I've had plenty that did not, and then I've had some that have worked really good. But they don't always work. But that's part of discovering new techniques. Make sure this camera's not running out of memory here. Battery's getting a little low. This will be my last video of the day. I've already shot a few others. I'm up here having fun. Okay. This will be my last attempt here. If this doesn't work, well, I want to give you guys a close-up of what I did here. I did the ramp a little bit different. I'm just going to keep the camera running. I did the notch a lot narrower instead of so wide back here to keep the spindle from migrating. And this is pretty deep. Whoop, sorry guys. It's probably about a ½ inch, close to it. ½ inch deep. So I just got a lot narrower notch here, so hopefully the char is going to come down and collect in this receptacle here. So the last one here that I had, the spindle migrated into the hole, just blew completely out. So let's give it a shot, see what we can do here. Bringing you guys along on an experimentation. Good friend of mine, longtime friend that watches my channel, he says, don't say you guys. I guess it sounds kind of oaky-fied or something, and he means well. I love him to death, but I guess that aggravates him when I say you guys. That's just me. I'm a what you see, what you get kind of guy. Polished in some ways and rough around the edges in the others, I guess you might say. Alright, it's going to be my final attempt on the one hole. bow drill. Take it easy, let the char build. Char's filling up in the receptacle, working the way it should. Success. One hole bow drill. I'm going to show you how we're going to get that out of there. This is why if you do this, don't use a real big log. Got a good coal, glowing red. I'm not going to blow this into flame because we're under red flag conditions here in the forest. Not only do I not want to risk a fire, I want to stay in good graces with Forestry Service. That is a one hole bow drill. It's the first time I've done that. It's been an idea I've been kicking around for a while. So that's the trick. Start out shallow, just burn it in shallow, and then run your notch out narrow, and then widen it into your receptacle. If you go wide at first, the spindle's it'll migrate, and it's gonna migrate into the receptacle and blow right out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and extinguish this and conclude the video. Stay tuned. Alright, wanted to give you guys a close-up here. You can see there was no migration at all of the spindle into the receptacle, so this narrow notch worked really well. And then when I rolled the log over, I had the wood chip underneath it, and I just wrapped the log and the coal came out. And of course, I scooped the rest of the char that was sticking around here, around the hole. Scooped it off onto the wood chip and kind of clumped it all together. But this log here is probably about a 6-inch, maybe 7-inch round. And this size worked really well. I was able to roll it over. You could go with a little bit smaller log and it would work as well also, but if you get too big, you're not going to be able to roll the log over. So this is probably just about pushing the maximum size that put my hand in here for size reference that you would want to use for this this purpose. You want to be able to roll it over and get that coal out of there. So one advantage I think about this, as in the 2-hole method, and this is another video that I shot, a little ramp connecting the 2 holes here, is if it's really windy conditions, your char and your coal is protected down inside here, so it's not going to blow right off like it would on a regular hearthboard and a welcome mat. And you don't have to build a hearthboard, you just look for a down log. It works pretty well for that purpose. Alright, see if we can recreate this. we have a good cold one there. Okay, and how I got this out of here. Let that build for a sec there. Got a good coal. You just slap the log and the coal drops right out. Well, it's good to be able to duplicate that. It shows that it's a workable method, and it works actually quite well. I have other footage here where I do the close-up and discuss it, but I started reviewing the footage and I lost all the footage of me getting that coal. Man, that was aggravating. Now I'm not going to blow this into flame because we're under red flag conditions here in the forest, so I want to stay in good graces with the forestry department. So I'm going to go ahead and extinguish this and conclude the video. I just wanted to give you another close-up here. I did a close-up of the first one, and of course, as I mentioned, the footage was lost, so this is pretty much a repeat of the first it's a repeat of the first one, so it worked fine the second time, so it's a repeatable method and seems to work pretty well. And this is why I call this the keyhole. Looks just like a keyhole. And I guess it was good to be able to do this twice. That way we can get a nice visual of the keyholes. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me on this one through the failures and then the final success. I'd like to discuss that for a few minutes. In survival, especially if you're going full primitive, nothing's written in stone. And you know, people think, well, if you learn a skill set and it's foolproof 100% of the time, it's not. There's a lot of variables that come into play. The main quality you really have to have is the knowledge. Get out there and do it. Put in the time, the dirt time, as it's called. Reading books is fine. It's really not going to teach you anything. I personally know a few people that I've tried to get them to prepare to get out and get their hands dirty, develop some calluses, and they won't do it. They say, well, I've got a survival book or survival books, and I'll worry about it when it happens, is another phrase that I have thrown at me, and it don't work that way. A lot of these skills, it takes a lot of work to learn and even more to master. And even when they're mastered, still not 100%. You can get a lot of success, but it's not 100%. There's too many variables involved there. A person with a good solid set of skills and the knowledge, of course they have a big edge over somebody that doesn't, a huge edge, but still it's not 100% guarantee. You know, our most valuable tool that we have as bushcrafters, survivalists, whatever label, the woodsman, whatever label you want to put on it, isn't the most expensive gun, thousands of rounds of ammunition, the latest, greatest gear. It's our brains. And I tell everybody, and especially in the times that we're living in now, and I think we're heading for some really bad times up ahead, just my personal opinion. I tell everybody, feed your brain, and feed it well before the lights go out. You may not have your books with you. People are saving stuff, PDFs and files and stuff on their phones. Well, don't count on all that electronic stuff. It requires electricity. You have to be able to recharge it. You may not have that option. Carry it up here. You can't lose it. It's always right there with you. I have a lot of experience with primitive fire making, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm the foremost authority. I'm not by a long ways. There's people out there that blow me away. There's a guy, he goes, a YouTube channel, NW Primate. Some of you probably know him. If not, look up his channel. The guy's a guru, an absolute guru of primitive fire making. It blows me away. I mean, I'm not even in the guy's league. And check out his channel. Amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, he's the foremost authority on primitive fire making. But I can hold my own. I do okay. And another quality that you need to have, you need to be stubborn. Don't give up too easy. I've been working on this for a while. I've been out here doing some primitive fire videos, and I'm tired. Bow drilling will work you out. It's satisfying, but it's tiring. And I almost didn't go for it on that last hole. I was going to just scrap the video and say, okay, well, it's a failure, but I don't know, it just had a feel to it. And there's a learning curve involved there. As you move along, you learn little bits and pieces from your failures, and you can apply that as you move along, and you can kind of adjust things. And sometimes all it takes is just a very small little adjustment to make something work. I've had that happen a lot of times, so I'm real happy with that. As far as I know, I don't think anybody else has done that, and if they have, hey, more power to them. But it was just another little brainstorm that I was thinking about, and I was real happy that it finally turned out. And it makes the ending all that much sweeter when you go through the struggle. You kind of earn it. It's a victory in the end there. So, and I appreciate you guys sticking in there with me, and hopefully you learned from my failures there. So that's what I like about doing this, is trading information with one another, techniques and whatnot. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it today. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I hope all of you are having an outstanding day or night, depending on where you're located. I will see all of you very soon on the next one. And keep feeding those brains. Cram all the information you can upstairs while you have a chance to do it. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.